have worked with Catholic Relief Services since 2011, and during all this time we have covered many stories, and recently more about climate change, a phenomenon that is affecting our whole planet. We were assigned to follow the work of a Salvadorian farmer named Arnoldo during the whole agricultural year, producing basic grains. This story has been a challenging one. I've met incredible people. We've done incredible stories that need to be told. I'm Oscar Leiva. I'm from El Salvador. I'm a documentary photographer. I really think CRS is doing a great job in many countries with the things that are important now, like climate change, which I think is one of the most important issues in the world right now. I believe that we've been capturing stories that need to be told and that assure us that not everything is lost in climate change. I remember in Bolivia, we made a story about Lake Popo, which was Bolivia's second largest lake, which just disappeared. I remember walking in flatland that looked like a desert, which before had been a lake, and we stumbled upon some dead fishes, dead birds, and boats sitting in the middle of a desert where they should be floating, but there was not like a single drop of water. In the travels I made with CRS, I went to Chalatenango in Honduras. I saw in the practices they were promoting to make irrigation ditches, which conserves moisture so that there's more water retention on the ground. And my mother, she made it without technical advice. She just heard me telling about it, and one day I came, hey, I made those irrigation ditches, and I was surprised.
Llevo produciendo café aproximadamente entre 35 a 38 años. Iniciamos en esta área donde estamos en este momento y poco a poco fuimos creciendo un poquito más. Esta zona era ocupada al inicio para hacer milpa y estaba completamente lavada, ¿verdad? Y con todo lo que se le ha hecho hemos logrado tener así el cafetal.
Coffee farms are really getting threatened because of diseases like the leaf rust, and with other factors like low prices. People what are doing is just cutting down the coffee farms and making them basic grain producing lands. And this what really does is they put in danger the water production that people downhill in the small towns, the water they drink is produced here in the coffee lands. And now this is one of the most productive parts of the farm. I'm proud of the job my parents have done here because it's land restoration. And I'm very happy because my daughter Adriana is studying with my parents a CRS related project that is called Renacer, that they are learning more environmentally friendly techniques to work coffee in a more organic way without using dangerous chemicals and restoring the soil's health and preserve the water in it. I did not become that interested at first in coffee because I was so focused with photography, but then I started thinking, well, we have to continue the legacy. We are in the plans of having our own cafeteria that will sell the coffee from this farm. And that has been like a dream for the last 2 or 3 years, but it's finally getting real. I like that the coffee legacy is continuing in the family. What I really like from CRS is that it's not an agency that gives, here's some corn, here's some coffee, or here's some food. They really value more teaching people how to change their life because knowledge can't be taken from there. With my new friend Arnoldo, we had established a deep connection. We had long conversations when we traveled to his home before and after the shoots. I witnessed Arnoldo's love and respect for the land, his love for his family, his community commitment, his vision of life. I see Arnoldo as a man that represents the will of survival, of how to make it in the toughest times. We planned these visits with detail. We started capturing this process before the rainy season came to withstand a bad year of extreme heat and scarce and irregular rain, to be able to produce corn and beans in the worst conditions possible. It's not just the story of one man, but of a whole community. What we discovered was an inspiring story which I think is a valuable testimony for other farmers to emulate. That type of stories that we captured there motivates us that we can really change our world.
Creo que Oscar tiene esa habilidad y talento de poder ver el alma de las personas y creo que sus imágenes lo demuestran.
Es súper importante poder demostrar que el trabajo que hacemos es real, pero sobre todo que está cambiando la vida de las personas a las que servimos.
Oscar has always been able to capture certain moments that are just so precious. Oscar has been a great person to understand through his lens things that we usually don't see.
When we shot the last photo of Arnoldo's story, I had a feeling of accomplishment, which I think we both shared, he as a farmer and me as a storyteller. It felt good to know that his family and community had made it through one of the hottest and driest years known to this part of the world. For me, this documentary project has been a life-changing experience. I would personally like to keep documenting stories about climate change, knowing that documenting these experiences help to promote that we can do good to the only earth that we all share.